What's up, guys? It's your girl from Team 10, and I am very excited today. So, I'm sure that most people have seen the footage that has been released by a lot of top players. So, a lot of top players in the FGC, like, Tasty Steve, Vicious, they all have dropped footage of Street Fighter 6 that they were able to play the full game. Now, I don't know where they was able to play the full game at. I guess that Capcom just gave them the full game and they was only able to take at least some footage of the game, not a lot of it, and they tried their best to give us as much as possible so we could see. So one thing that I am like super excited to see is JP. So shout outs to Tasty Steve for this footage that I'm looking at right now, which is pretty much the entire move set of JP. So you can actually see a lot of different movesets from everybody else. I know that Tasty Steve is showing some. I know Vicious is. It's a lot of different people that were able to get their hands on this. It's not released yet, so don't get too excited, but only they were able to play the game early. So I know that Steve is actually uploading more videos about other characters, but I wanted to talk about JP specifically because, as you know, I have been just geeking out about this character like ever since I've seen him. I just think that he is just the most handsomest character in this game, and I just have to know how he works and what he does. So as time has went on, me seeing a lot of JP, he's kind of been a mystery. I know a lot of people want to figure out what he does. He's very bizarre. He's supposedly the boss of this game, and he's the zoner, supposedly. I don't think there's been a zoner before that's been the boss of Street Fighter, but he's a zoner. And I've always been a little worried about his gameplay. His gameplay does worry me a little bit because he is a zoner, and I know a lot of times those type of characters in games, they don't really do well against everybody. They tend to just get beat up because they don't have anything to protect them. So I know that I always make comparisons between him and G because facially they look pretty similar to me, but gameplay wise they're not similar. But the thing that I did like about G is that he had a force field that would allow him not to get touched by people, and it was hard to jump over and stuff like that, so it could protect him. Something that I have noticed with JP is that he doesn't really have anything like that. He has I believe a parry, which kind of like shoots out, and it's like these two orbs that like follow you. Now it does seem like it burns meter, and it seems like that's all he has for right now that I've noticed that can't protect him. That is concerning to me because I just feel like as I've kind of seen gameplay of him going against other characters, especially somebody like Blanca and really quick characters like Cammy, I just feel like he will just die, trying to pull off this little hocus pocus stuff that he's trying to do, because he's one of those kind of characters that he doesn't want to get close. He's all about staying back and just letting, his hands do the work, so to speak. But I'm a little worried about some of the stuff that I have seen from him because I don't really know how he defends himself. He might be like a glass cannon, I'm not really sure. But characters like this, when they can't get in and get anything done, they usually die pretty quickly, because I just feel like it just seems like everybody else on the roster would be better than him. Like, I've already seen like what Ryu can do. Like, Ken is crazy in this game. Like, Juri is dumb like she always is. Cammy is outrageous. Blanca is doing slides full screen. I just don't know how JP is going to protect himself from any of that. But I guess we'll have to see what the pro players do with him. And I know a lot of people are excited to play him, including myself, but I am a little worried about his gameplay. The more I look at it, the more I don't like it as much. But it is what it is. I'm sure that the pro players will make him look brilliant, the same way they did with G. Initially when I played G, I played him because I did like the way he looked, but I did not like his moveset. To this day, I don't like G's moveset. And I feel the same way about JP. Like, I don't really prefer his moveset the more I look at it. But I do like the way that this character look, and he's just a very attractive character to me. So he's all I got right now in this game, since G isn't here. But the good thing that we've seen is that they actually talk about all the moves here, and they actually show the very complex, very thought out training mode, which is a blessing. I'm so glad that Street Fighter has a training mode like this. They don't force you to just play somebody like Luke, because they're forcing Luke on us to teach us every move. You can use the character that you want, and you could be taught every little thing that they do. And for me to see JP just standing here and every little move is on the screen, and even tell you how to do it, how slow it is, and even what situations you can use it in, is really cool. They tell you what the name is and everything, so you won't forget. And it's really cool. They do the same type of thing before in Street Fighter V, where the way that it's displayed of how it talks to you in the bottom, it's kind of like the character is telling you this. Because I noticed at the bottom, like when you read the text sounds very like regal. And I am like, I can definitely see JP like trying to tell me or anybody else, like, hey, this is what you do, to spam these people out so they can't get close, so they just die. Like, it's really interesting. I believe they did that on Street Fighter V, which is a nice touch, definitely. So I'm actually surprised to see so much footage from this game. They actually showed another color for JP. It's like this purple and black. That is amazing. This is an amazing color. I kind of almost wish that was his default color, now that I kind of look at it. Other characters have been dropped, and you can see other matches against people. Like, I know that I've seen something about him going against like DJ, and like a full match against Cammy, and other characters like Manon that we haven't really seen yet. So I think that that's really good. And this mode here, the training mode, is going to actually help people a whole lot, especially people that are not, well diverse in Street Fighter. To me, Street Fighter is always been difficult to understand. 2D fighters as a whole is difficult to understand. I don't understand how they work. I'm so used to 3D fighters because that's what I grew up on, and I'm really, really lax when it comes to 2D fighters. So having something like this, which is a very well thought out practice mode, is good. And I actually like that you can actually slow down moves, and they kind of tell you, how fast they are and the frame rates, and, all that nerdy stuff that, fighting game players like to know. That's actually really, really nice. And I never thought that I would see Street Fighter do this, because they definitely didn't do it in the previous games. And it's nice to see that they're doing that now. I also noticed that they showed a lot of different things like the intro walk screens and stuff. They did that. And they also showed more costumes for people. And they also was showing a lot of like different stages. And I know that they have showed like some stages kind of like a little bit, but not a lot. So they've been kind of keeping that stuff under wraps. They haven't been doing the thing that Tekken has been doing, and that's like making everybody fight on the same stage. Thank goodness they're not doing that. So greatly, we have been able to see a lot from this game, and we're less than a month out, and there's a lot to look forward to. So I'm excited to see this, and to see that I can go into this practice mode and actually just figure out what this character does. And I didn't even realize how interesting or popular that JP has become. Apparently he's like one of those characters that everybody's like, who is this guy and what does he want? And I feel like a lot of people want to know what he's about, since he's like dubbed to be our boss character. I feel like the same thing happened with G. So everybody is like looking at this guy now, and they're just like, oh my god, he's broken, they're gonna nerf him, he's doing way too much. That might be true, but since I am not the most knowledgeable about Street Fighter at all, I don't know what being broken really looks like. If everybody looks like a good player in my eyes, because I don't really know how to play fighting games, but I don't really know what that means, because to me, JP really does look cool when he does his moves, but the moves themselves, they look a little questionable. So I definitely would have to see, when we use him, what that kind of feels like. And I know a lot of Street Fighter moves are like the quarter circle crap, and that is very difficult. So I don't know if his moves involve that formation a lot, because if they do, it's going to be very difficult. And I know that I am not the best at pulling off the quarter circle movement on a controller anyway, because I use a controller and I'm not the best at trying to do that move. That move is very difficult. I had to practice it multiple times to pull it off. All it does is make my fingers hurt, and I just feel like it's unnecessary. But I know that's probably why they have the modern and classic things that you can do in the game. But I just feel like putting that on modern or whatever the easy one is, for some reason I just feel like that's not teaching you anything if you do that. So that's one of the reasons why I don't want to put that on modern, because I do want to still do whatever I was doing in Street Fighter 5, which was the classic way of trying to understand the motions, because that's like key to Street Fighter, is to understand the motions. And I know that I was speaking on like a move, kind of like, I know that JP has like a parry in this game. I believe it's called Amnesia, to my knowledge. I'm trying to remember his moves. I know a lot of his moves are the names of like Slavic Russian deities, so it's like some pagan stuff in there too. They also, I think they're pagan, Slavic pagan deities. So I've always been saying that he got something witchy going on, but we don't know. And the amnesia thing is something I was talking about, which doesn't seem like a very hard move to pull off. It's like down kick or something, and it seems like that's the parry, but I don't remember which one is the quarter circle movement. It might be the spears that he throw out. It might be that, or it might be the churbog. I believe that's what that's called, which are like the thorns that he does. One of those moves is the quarter circle move, and I know that they have a I think they call it like an advanced version of it. I can't really remember what it's called, but it's kind of like the advanced version. I think they show you how to do the advanced version, which it seems to burn a little bit more meter. When I had the open beta, well, the second round of the open beta, well, it wasn't open, closed. We wish we got an open beta. The closed beta, I got the second round. I really didn't play with too many characters. I did play with Jury because I didn't want to play with anybody else, and I really didn't have time to really figure out what a lot of the moves were. Practice mode was available to everyone, but I really didn't get the grasp on what burnout was. I didn't get the grasp on what the meters meant, overdrive, none of that stuff. I didn't even like pay any attention. And I just wanted to just play the game and just see how it feels, to see if I even like it, because I just feel like novices like myself and other people who just do not take these games seriously, they just want to know if they're going to have a good time and does the game feel good, when they play it. So that's pretty much what I was doing, the entire time that I had that. So I never ever played it enough. And the big controversy with the crack beta, which I've never played. I've seen footage of that version of the beta, but I never played that either. And I know a lot of people are mad about that, and I think that Capcom tried to crack down on that. That's not a pun. Well, kinda, but they tried to do something about that, but it's a little too late. People have already played that version of the game and did whatever they needed to, so it's kind of like over and done. Yeah, good job Capcom for trying to lay down the law, but nobody cares. But this game is going to be out pretty soon, and I think that everything that I'm seeing so far is really interesting. It really does have me interested in playing the rest of the game, especially World Tour and Fighting Grounds. I don't really know what I'm going to do in Fighting Grounds. I don't really want to I'm going to have to take a different approach about this game, way different than how I did with Street Fighter 5, because I feel like I spent most of my time on Street Fighter 5 just trying to play online, and I don't want to do that this time, because that just seemed like, I don't know, it didn't seem too interesting. It wasn't really fun just doing that all the time, and it just led to nowhere. So hopefully World Tour will be fun, inviting. I really enjoyed World Tour when I was playing it a little couple of days back. That was super fun. So I can't wait to play that more. And also I can't wait to actually, be JP and see if I really want to be this character, because I know a lot of people is already picking their mains, but if you haven't really played these characters yet, it's hard to know if you're gonna like them, because just looking at them, their movements and everything, you might think that's who you want to play, but I think that until you actually play them, you'll know if they're for you or not. So I'm kind of worried, because if I don't like JP, I think that I'm going to be between a rock and a hard place for sure. Because if I don't like JP because I like the way he looks, but I do not like his gameplay, that's where my mind is right now. And if I don't think that I'm going to play him, I don't really know what I'm going to really do with this game. I guess it would have been a waste of my $80. But I could only pray and hope G will be in this game, which I don't think that he will be. So that'll be something to think about for sure. But I'll just have to either just bite the bullet and just try to play him and just forget about his gameplay and just grace his presence and just be happy that somebody that looks like him is on the screen, because that's all I have to go off of this character. If anybody knows me, I mean, they know that I usually pick characters based off of what they look like, not how they play. And aesthetically, I'm just really heavy on what characters look like. That is the main reason. And I think that is the majority of people might do that. They see somebody and they're like, oh my god, they look cool, and they want to be him. But I don't know if that, line of thinking is changing. It might be. But I don't really know how I'm gonna feel about JP. I definitely need to give him a shot, figure out how he works, figure out if he's a difficult character. And I think that question has been answered for me, because I think that I seen his intro screen, and it definitely says that his difficulty is hard. Definitely. There's easy characters, there's medium, and then there's hard. He's definitely under the hard category. So I definitely did not choose wisely. I choose the character that was difficult. But just looking at everything he does, I guess I kind of knew that. But I don't know if I ruined my chances at playing this game or not when the game comes out. But we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, have you guys seen, this rare footage? I don't know if it's rare. I think that, it's all over the internet now. It's definitely all over the internet. And also, you guys tell me who you guys are looking forward to playing. And if you guys have, seen your entire, character loadout of all the moves, because I know everybody is talking about this right now. And even though it's just a little bit of footage, it's not a lot, this is enough for anybody to go off of just to know what this game is going to entail. Even though they couldn't show us everything, just being able to see all of this, that's impressive. So I can't wait until June 2nd to, definitely to try our world tour. And I also can't wait to be face to face with JP. So you guys let me know what you think in the comments, and let me know who you guys' favorite character is and who you guys are waiting for. And you know what you have to do. Make sure you guys are following me on my Twitter. Make sure you guys are checking me out here every week on YouTube. Until next time, guys. Peace.